Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video that's going to be part of my new series, The Business of Photography. So this video today is kind of like part 2 and it's going to be on time management. And for those of you out there that procrastinate a lot, I really feel you. And that is basically up until probably a couple of years ago how I ran my business based on procrastination, which is really bad. So pretty much for the first 7 years maybe that I was doing photography, I had the worst approach to time management. I had all these great ideas that I wanted to achieve with my work and what I wanted to achieve with my career, and I set no time aside for planning any of it. I would literally wake up in the mornings and have full days available to me, and I would literally just not have anything planned. I'd sift through the internet, get distracted, do everything else than what I was probably supposed to be doing, and then at night I would go to bed and just feel so unaccomplished in what I was meant to be doing. And it's kind of a bad feeling because you feel like you haven't accomplished anything throughout the day and you've had all this time and then you haven't done anything with it, and there's not been any extra step to where you want to be. And I think in the end I just got sick of having that feeling all the time, and I kind of made a bit of a promise to myself that every day I was going to do something that got me a little bit closer to where I wanted to be with my photography and where I wanted to be with my career. And even if that was something as small as posting on social media once a day, I was happy with that. Just as long as I was doing something each day that was going to take me that little bit closer. So I think time management is one of those really, really important things, and it's not something that everyone has straight away. A lot of the time it takes a while to get into a routine with what you're doing and actually find the time to start planning on what you're going to be doing each week or day to day. So I'd say my first point would be allow time for making and editing content. I feel like this is the most important thing. I have all these different grand ideas of how I'm going to plan my time a lot of the time, and sometimes when it comes to even posting on social media, I can't even do that because I don't have enough content, or I'm not allowing myself enough time to make content and produce content, and then I've got nothing to post. So you can have like all the time management tips and tricks in the world as far as doing stuff and making time for social media and promoting yourself, but if you've got no new content and you've got nothing coming in to promote, then that's kind of an issue, and it kind of gets you a bit stuck. And sometimes what's happened before to me is that after I've had nothing to post for one day, I've been like, oh, okay, well, I'll work on that tomorrow. And then before I know it, 6 days has gone past and I haven't posted a thing on social media, or I haven't done anything towards my marketing or promoting. So I think allow time for photographing. You know, you need to have those days during the week or during the month where you go out and shoot, or you organize a shoot, and just make sure that you allow that time for creating your own content. And I think along with producing content, your editing sessions or your retouching sessions, this is really important. So when you're scheduling a retouching session, or you're going to sit down and edit for a little while, have in your head an amount of images that you'd like to have finished and edited by the time you finish that session. So usually, like, I'll sit down to retouch for a little while and it could be a couple of hours, and I'll think to myself, well, I want to get 15 finished edited photos out of that session, just so you know how many more retouching sessions you're going to need after that particular one and how productive you're actually going to be during that time. So I think that's really important, and you can kind of think to yourself, well, if I can finish editing this shoot, then I can go on to do something else later on in the day, or I can get on to planning my next shoot, and then, you know, everything's kind of finished and the ends are tied with the previous shoot that you've been working on. That's kind of how I like to look at my editing sessions, and I like to make sure that I'm being productive, as productive as possible with them. And this third point is pretty important as well. So I'd say make sure you're scheduling time for admin and for accounting, so any finance stuff, or just replying to emails is a really important one. And I'm terrible at this sometimes, and I know a lot of you guys message me and then I haven't scheduled the time to reply to my emails, so then no one gets a reply, and that's horrible. So I think definitely replying to your emails is important. That can possibly lead to paid jobs or any opportunities really through your emails. So make sure that you are replying to them. And I feel like such a hypocrite saying this right now, because I've probably got like at least 20 emails in my inbox that need replying to, and I'm going to schedule some time for that. But yeah, admin's pretty important. And what I like to do as well with that is at the beginning of each day, I like to try and set some time aside for admin. At the moment, I'm working full-time, so I can't really do it every morning. But usually on the mornings that I've got off, I set myself some time aside for that. And I'll also try and write lists at the beginning of each day as to what I want to achieve by the end of the day. So I might do this weekly sometimes, or I usually do it daily, and I'll just write a list. I'll be like, you know, edit this shoot, send those photos off, start planning another shoot with such and such, and I'll just try and work my lists like that. I feel like lists are the greatest thing that you can do though, because I feel you're more likely to do things if you've got a list there and you're checking them off as you go and you're feeling more productive. It does feel like you are being productive, and it's a good thing. So I say lists are so important, and I kind of work my life around lists, so I think they're a good idea. It's also good to schedule a little bit of time specifically for planning shoots each day if you can, because I find that I've got so many Facebook conversations going on with different teams a lot of the time, and models and agencies and that sort of thing. So even if you set aside like 20 minutes each day just to reply to those messages or those Facebook group convos or emails, anything to do with planning a shoot, I think that really helps to keep you more productive with making sure that you are producing more content on a regular basis. So even just setting aside time specifically for that, I think helps. Also, I feel like this point is really important, and social media is such an important part, I feel, of a photographer's career a lot of the time these days. It plays such a big part, and I think scheduling time, setting aside time for social media every day is a must. So even if you don't have time necessarily to go in and post on each of your accounts, because I know it's harder than what it sounds, and I think it takes a bit more time than what a lot of other people think it does. So I think there's scheduling options out there a lot of the time with Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever you're using. Scheduling options if you don't have the time to post all the time. So I like to get a bit of content up for the week, and I like to schedule them accordingly on each day if I can. Sometimes that doesn't always happen, but I have certain applications and programs that I like to use to help me along with that. So I'll definitely get them in a different video for you guys, and I'll compile them and let you know what's available out there, like tools to help you with your business, because there's definitely a lot out there that I didn't know about until the last couple of years, and they're really, really helpful programs. So I'll definitely do a video and show you guys what apps are out there that are really helpful. I think the key as well to time management is being consistent with it and making sure there's not too much changing from week to week with your time management. And if there is, just making sure that you have set aside the time for that and you're compensating for that. So just making sure you get into a routine overall, and that really helps to keep the time management in check and keep everything that you sort of organized in order. And that can take a while to achieve. I found that it took a really long time for me to get to that point where I was being really consistent with my time management, and at the moment it's kind of like up and down a bit for me, even because of my job and the requirements there and the days that I'm having to work now. So it is a little bit different from week to week for me, but I try and keep as consistent as possible. Especially with YouTube, it's quite hard, but I think consistency is key a lot of the time. And my last tip for time management is take a break, and this means probably more frequently than what you think. So spending too much time at the computer is not really good for anyone, let's be honest. And if you can just take a break from what you're doing, particularly when it comes to editing, because I think once you've stared at the screen for too long, you think you're doing an amazing job with the photos that you're editing, then you come back a little bit later and you don't feel so confident about the photos. So I think it's good to have regular breaks and just sort of keep your mind fresh as possible. And having a break can sometimes get you a little bit more inspired to go back and work on things, because once you've been working on something all day or for the whole week and you've just been sitting in front of the computer staring at the same stuff, it gets pretty tiring quickly and you don't feel as happy to sit there and work on it. So definitely take breaks and schedule that into your time. Make sure you're having, like, say a 15-minute break for every 5 photos or whatever that you edit. That's kind of like an example that I'd give. But yeah, I think that's pretty important as well. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful. If you guys have any questions about time management or any other tips that you want to add, please put them in the comments section below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye!